One of the most common sins in Mobile Legends, and yes, some of you do this proudly, is locking in a horrendous team composition. And that's exactly why I made this video, to show you what an actually good team composition looks like, why it gives you a free ticket to win, and of course, how a bad team composition can send you straight to Legend Forever Prison. We'll also go through the good and bad decisions made in the game and what could have been done better to avoid instant regret. I originally queued up as a mid laner, minding my own business, but then one of our teammates suddenly wanted to swap. So fine, I went gold lane instead. No problem. But then, I noticed our jungler was planning to lock in Popol. At that point, I knew we were entering the Twilight Zone. So instead of playing a normal gold laner like a regular person, I picked Cici instead. Before you start throwing stones at me and reporting me for blasphemy, hear me out. Popol is a pretty independent hero. Well, kind of. So yeah, he can work as a jungler. But personally, I think the ideal lineup is 3 melee heroes and 2 long-ranged heroes. Having 2 more melee units aside from the tank helps share the punching bag role. That's why if someone locks in a marksman jungler, I'll usually go melee in the gold lane instead. And before you panic, no, it's not trolling. Even if I don't use a marksman in the gold lane, we still have Popol, a powerful marksman scaling up for late game. In other words, our damage output is covered. We're safe, we're safe. So if you really think about it, it's actually a smart role distribution. Could be better, but hey, this is the solo queue, so what do you really expect? Stay tuned because I'll show you the advantages of playing fighters on the gold lane as we go through the video. So right off the bat, we casually stroll to their jungle. Like I've said before, knowing where the enemy jungler is will help your team predict their rotation. As for our roamer, I have no idea what secret mission he was on. Probably looking for a real man who never hides in a bush. Instead of wandering over there, he should have gone mid first, then straight to the other side of the enemy jungle. Why? Because roamers literally get free gold and experience just for exposing enemy heroes. It's like getting paid for being a stalker. But since he's doing his own useless side quest, he's missing out on all that juicy bonuses. This is one of the perks of using a fighter in the gold lane. Fighters are basically lane bullies compared to marksmen in the early game. More HP, more damage, more aura. Even late game monsters like Argus, who are supposed to shine later and are fairly weaker early on, still slap harder than most marksmen in the early game. Which means the enemy marksman is forced to play like they're allergic to you. And that's good for you, because now you're free to stroll around, join fights early, and basically act like the second XP laner of the while their gold laner is still stuck trying to clear their lane. As you can see, Ixia barely moves away from her lane while Cici was able to disengage much faster or more frequently, thus letting her join fights when necessary.
No. Wait.
This game would have been a walk in the park if our roamer actually knew what the word roam meant. My guy must think the gold lane has a hidden treasure chest or something because he refuses to leave it. Meanwhile, he's missing out on all the free gold and experience from actually revealing enemies. You know, the entire purpose of his existence. Now look at his level. He's practically playing the tutorial while the rest of us are playing an actual ranked game. If our roamer just played like an actual roamer and not a concussed chimp, we could have completely abused the fact that the enemy team doesn't even have a real tank. Their only frontliner is X-Borg, and even he's more of a walking barbecue grill than a tank. And their only reliable crowd control is Eudora. Besides her, the rest are either tiny ranged or easily juked. In other words, setting up teamfights for them is like trying to assemble a perfect grade Gundam model kit with a blindfold on. Meanwhile, our lineup is literally the Avengers. Everyone has solid CC, three of us even have AoE CC. In other words, our team was built for setting up clashes. All we needed was for our roamer to stop sightseeing and actually press the right buttons. The turtle was about to respawn, which means it was time to stop role-playing as vegetables and actually manage the lane flow. So instead of doing absolutely nothing, we cleared the mid lane, then rotated to the top lane. By clearing the mid and the top lane enemy minions, we bought enough time before enemy minions started knocking on our turrets and ensured we were fully available for the incoming teamfight. Strategic, responsible, 100% trademark lane pressure. See? Our mid and top turrets are still perfectly fine. That's the beauty of not picking too many sluggish marksmen who need 3 bodyguards, cash, and emotional support just to rotate. We actually get to join the team fight and still have turrets standing. To clarify, I'm not saying pick a fighter or non-marksman on the gold lane just because you can or because you want to. In this situation, it just so happens that having an unconventional lineup worked in our favor because our jungler was a marksman already. Having 2, or worse, more marksmen can actually be counterproductive at times. X-Borg and Eudora were already deleted from existence. Matilda was clearing mid. Popol was at the bot lane and was basically one sneeze away from dying, which meant Lancelot was either waiting in the shadows or was heading towards him. With that in mind, I decided to go full beast mode on Ixia.
Ginagawa mo!
Thank goodness we made the right call, otherwise that would have been very embarrassing. If you think this content is helpful, hit like, share this video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Another perk of our lineup is that we can push without constantly fearing that a 5-man gank is gonna jump us. If we had picked a bunch of fragile heroes, the enemy would have seen us as an all-you-can-eat buffet of high-priority targets. But since we went with a mobile, hard-to-kill fighter such as Cici, we were basically not worth the trouble. Low risk, high confidence, and 0 victim energy. This was the emblem and talent configuration I had in the game. Nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary, just a balance between HP sustain and damage. As you can probably tell, the enemy team had a very hard time defeating us like we were made of plot armor. And that's because we actually had a real tank, plus 2 melee heroes built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Cici and Sylvana. Honestly, if Sylvana just played like she owned even a single brain cell of caution, we would have ended this match years ago. Unfortunately, 2 of our teammates were so careless. It felt like they were speedrunning face planting. That concludes our Mobile Legends content for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see each other in the next one. Peace.